Yes, we're delighting the customer, but we're using that feedback to feedback down to our employees to make sure that they have the information readily at their fingertips. Why? So that they can be able to best serve the customer. It's like this full circle that just continues to keep happening. And I think when we think about connection or intersectionality between CCaaS and WFM, that's what we're talking about, right? Hey guys, and welcome to another WFM Tipsy Thursdays. I am your show host, Juanita Coley, the contact center whisperer, the CEO and founder of Solid Rock Consulting. And I'm super excited to be with you guys this week because this week's topic we're talking about, what is CCaaS? What is CCaaS and what is the impact to WFM? This week we have the amazing Manoj with us, breaking down all things CCaaS and the impacts on WFM. So let's hop right in. Manoj, thank you so much for being my guest with me this week. I'm super excited to dive into these juicy topics.
Yeah, so good. So thank you so much for having me today. So first of all, this is a great opportunity to at least uncover a few new things. And so I'm really excited about, having me at the show.
First of all, break down for the people, what is CCaaS and how does it tie into workforce management?
The CCaaS, as everybody knows, is essentially offering a customer care service more as a service, which means you're actually offering customer care software, the solutions, but it's all hosted in a cloud, right? So cloud is all well known. You're offering a solution, it's a service, it's hosted in cloud. And so here is a complete story of customer care in cloud. And so that's CCaaS. But WFM is workforce management, and it's actually a very pivotal piece of that CCaaS story. And the reason why sometimes it's not really getting that exposure or that attention is because CCaaS, as you know, is delighting the customer. You are actually improving customer experience. You want to make sure that customers are all excited and their journeys are well understood. We get to know the customers better. We make them happy. But very often, which I've seen when I visited the real contact center, was that, okay, I'm talking about delighting the customers, but what about delighting my workforce who are actually working on a daily basis, who are actually taking the phone calls, who are actually, working through the digital channels, talking to the customers, handling their problems or addressing something or even doing a collections call or launching a campaign. So I think the WFM piece is more about delighting the workforce, delighting the people who actually work in that contact center, while CCaaS is all about delighting the customers.
Yeah, that's a really interesting and unique perspective to think about it from. Is thinking about, I'm a big advocate for employee experience. And so I'm always talking about EX. Without an EX strategy, your CX strategy is trash. Like, people can finish that sentence for me now.
Absolutely.
So I love how
Absolutely.
you've tied workforce management to CCaaS and the importance of it. Hey guys, listen. So y'all know I'm a data nerd, and 88% of you guys that are watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. So if you are finding value in this content, can I ask you to do me a favor? Could you subscribe to our channel? What this allows us to do is to continue to keep adding value, bringing insights and the latest in trends around customer experience, employee experience, business profitability, workforce management. Thank you so much for being here. You are truly valued. We appreciate if you would subscribe and follow us for more information. What is a myth or a common mistake that people make when working with CCaaS?
So I think one of the big things, as we clearly defined CCaaS and WFM, is that CCaaS is all about delighting the customers, right? Making the customers happy. What you need to do, and the back office part of CCaaS, is to make sure your operations are running fine as well. Only then you would be able to do that, make the customers happy. So I think the biggest myth around CCaaS is that if you make the customers happy, your job is done. And I think the myth is that needs to be debunked. The myth here is you delight the customers. You also have to make sure that the customers follow you. You actually get their feedback. You use that feedback to grow your employees, to make your workforce better, to operationalize in a better way. So it's not that you just make the customers happy. You actually make yourself happy as well, learning from that. So if customers are saying something that, hey, this is how we would like to see things happen, Show me that you did act on it and you did make your workforce happy about it.
Yes, we're delighting the customer, but we're using that feedback to feedback down to our employees to make sure that they have the information readily at their fingertips. Why? So that they can be able to best serve the customers. Like this full circle that just continues to keep happening. And I think when we think about the connection or intersectionality between CCaaS and WFM, that's what we're talking about, right? Give me a tip or a strategy then that companies should be employing when they're employing or deploying rather their CCaaS strategies or solutions.
Yeah, so I'll give you a very profound example because I worked in 911 industry, emergency calling and life and safety services. So everybody knows life and safety is very important. You have to make sure that 911 calls go and terminate in the right way. Public safety is very important. The emergency responders respond in the right way. But have we ever thought as to how a public safety answering point really works? How does a call handler in those centers who are actually dealing with emergency situations, very, very stressful, how are they handling that, right? I mean, what is their life and how is their desktop looking like? They have a CCaaS platform as well, but they have 6 or 7 screens. One screen is giving them location, the other is giving them routing or calling information, the termination idea. Should I call the police or should I call hospital? Should I call, fire department? Besides the traditional workforce management pieces of, staffing and scheduling and rostering and everything on that, there is also an experience side of workforce or employee experience side of the call handler. He or she has to deal with like 7 or 8 screens just to get different pieces of information coming in. And I think I was very, very amazed to see the due diligence and the work and the hard work that 911 workers are putting in handling such calls with a limited set of tools and resources and getting overwhelmed with every call that is coming into them, which is a very, very high stress call, right? Nobody calls them for any happy situation. So you call 911 only in emergency situation. And hats off and kudos to the staff which is working there in handling such situations. And how do they really get their WFM pieces in place? I mean, you absolutely have to look at the scheduling and staffing piece, but also why are we not paying attention to making their lives easier, right? In terms of information, in terms of screens, in terms of technology coming in at their desktop, given that we have a lot of technology available. So I feel that WFM needs absolutely 100% attention now. This is an area where I haven't really seen any big playbooks yet that somebody would say, look, this is how I delight my employees. This is how I delight my workforce. This is how I have my playbook ready for workforce. There are tons of playbooks ready for customer experience, delighting the customers using AI, but very few frameworks ready on WFM. So I'm excited about the work that you are doing and your company is doing in offering that kind of expertise, and also looking at these topics and maybe making it more better from operational aspect.
So good. I mean, so many nuggets you just dropped there, right? Like, it's so true because that, when you're thinking, I stay near and dear. I keep the agent population very near and dear to my heart because if you know my story, I started off on the phones as a teen mom in the call center. And so agent experience is super important to me. Because I believe it does shape ultimately and impact the customer experience, but not only because of that, but because we are talking about people, right? Like you just said, that employee experience of having to pull up 5 different screens. Like you need a better process and a better technology so that human experience, being the employee, they can be able to serve better. And so if again, customer is holding for forever because the agent has 50,000 screens to pull up, I guess what the customer is doing? They're holding, they're waiting, they're potentially even looking up your competitor, go to your competitor. So I love the conversation. I love that point around employee experience. Hey, transformative leader, listen, have you grabbed your copy of WFM Go Beyond? Go and grab your copy at WFMGoBeyond.com. WFM Go Beyond is sectioned into 2 sections. Section 1 is the foundation and the fundamentals of workforce management. The core 4, you've heard me talk about this: data gathering, forecasting, scheduling, intraday. But section 2 is the part that I get super excited about, especially for 2025, because we are pushing and encouraging and challenging leaders to go beyond and push into transformative impact. And section 2 is going to do that to help you understand how you tie your WFM strategy into your CX initiatives, your EX initiatives, and business profitability goals. So if you're an operational leader, executive, a WFM leader that has a operations efficiency goal, okay, and you want to drive transformative impacts, WFM Go Beyond is your resource. So go to WFMGoBeyond.com and grab your copy today. Bye. If you had to leave us with a final thought, what would that be?
I would have one good thought, which is, on top of everybody's mind, AI, right? So here is my, speech on that. AI is not human. We deal with humans, right? Customer centers, call centers deal with humans. And guess what? Where are humans? WFM and humans are tightly locked. We are the people who are actually going to make the difference. And all this idea around AI being scary, or it can affect, or it can take up the jobs, or CX is going to change. If we were paying attention to WFM, if we were paying attention to the idea of taking care of agents with humility, with transparency, with trust, with empathy, these things would not have been scary at all. So WFM is not going to be drastically affected by AI if the customer care centers, if the CCaaS vendors, if the CCaaS solution providers had paid attention to empathy and humility and trust and transparency. This is not an issue. This is actually a good thing, so that you bring efficiencies. So nothing to worry about. AI is not human. That's the key.
Yeah, AI is not human. That's a whole bar right there. You can just drop the whole mic right there. I love that. Thank you so much, Manoj, for taking the time to come hang out with us on WFM Tipsy Thursdays.
Sure, good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Man, that was so epic. If we're paying attention, that's the thing. If we're paying attention and having humility and having all of these different elements, I don't have to rehash. Y'all heard, you heard what Manoj said, okay? To find Manoj, okay, make sure you check him out on LinkedIn. Until next time, go be great and let's make impact. See y'all soon. Bye.